Everybody, my name is E.R.G.101 and today we are back for another train video. Now, by the title and the thumbnail that you saw, this is kind of a turn from my normal videos, and so which is why I decided to make a how to start your own model railroading video. And for those of you who are beginners that want to get into the hobby, I think that's amazing. And personally, I see this as a great learning experience for you guys, but you guys who already know model railroading, like my friend Alex, and along with several thousands of others, you're like, what is this annoying guy doing? So which is why this is a instructional video on how to set up your own model railroad for beginners. The beginning stage is always the best. Ooh, there's $1. Don't touch! Let's start the video, shall we? So this video will give you instructions on how to start your own model railroad and how to make it like the way that you thought of in your dreams. Now, this railroad right here, the first step on how to set up your own model railroad is simply planning. Now, planning is essential for a model railroad. Personally, if you do sketches or concept arts for stuff like this, then you'll be good to go. Now the track plan also needs to work into account. As you can see, it's sort of an oval shape, and as you can tell by the shape of the layout, you can definitely see that it has its surroundings in mind as well. Now see, this, if you don't know, okay, is a Bachmann, upside down. This is a Bachmann Your First Railroad track pack, or in this case, this is a starter railroad. This is a railroad that is mostly for beginners, like myself. Of course, I was 5 when I first bought this railroad, so planning, concept drawings and whatnot, and the different track layouts that you can get at your local hobby store also play a key role in developing your first model railroad. Hello everybody, starting your own model railroad sounds amazing if you're into miniatures or modeling or wherever. Now, remember, don't try this at home if you don't have any experience. Get help from a person who knows this kind of stuff. Now, getting into the model railroading has been around for over a century, and just as important as anything is, you need to know the basics. And starting with your first starter set, the starter set is a perfect way for you to start making model railroads. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about the basics of model railroading and how you can improve it. No model railroad is the same. Each one is different and it has its own unique qualities. So, let's get started, shall we? As you can see, my railroad is sort of cluttered, but don't worry, there's a possible rail yard coming soon. Now, if there's one place that I would like to start at, it would be getting a model railroading set, also known as a starter set. A starter set is a perfect way to begin learning. And just as important as the set is, you need to make sure your track is level. If your track isn't level, then the train will have problems and derail. I've seen this before, and the easy snap together track is a perfect way for you to learn how to put together your own railroad. And as you can see here, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. Go to the next slide, So yeah, setting up your own track with this kind of track is very simple. It has these 2 separate prongs that go into each other. Just make sure that the 2 prongs on the ends of the rails are aligned properly. And this will give you a perfectly good smooth surface for your trains to run on. And if your track is nice and level like mine is, then it will suffer no problems. Make sure your track is level and make sure that everything works perfectly. And after you've connected the track, put your fingers and gently rub over it to see if there's any bumps. And take the track apart and fix the bumps by taking apart the track and putting it back together. Now, just as important as the track is, what would a railroad be without them? Locomotives and rolling stock. Now, locomotives and rolling stock depend on you. What kind of trains do you want? Personally, I like passenger trains and as well as freight trains. Passenger trains typically use passenger cars, of course. But see, if your railroad is large enough, then it can have multiple trains on it at one time, and multiple trains. As you can see here, there's more than one train that can be on my railroad at one time. And if you want, you can have historic trains on the railroad, such as the Jupiter. Look at how cute that caboose is, it's so cute. Now, just as important as the trains are, you need to maintain it. Maintenance is key. I mean, you wouldn't just leave, like, the castle at Disneyland on a bad surface, or you wouldn't leave it alone. Now, my track is on carpet, which was a bad choice. It used to be on wood, but now it's not. But see, I put this cardstock under it in order for it to be level, and it has made a huge improvement over the years. I mean, ever since I've started using cardstock, which was about 3 weeks ago before I made this video. Model railroads can be so captivating. Now, scenery is another important aspect. You can go the homemade route, or you can buy some at your local hobby store. There's trees, buildings, homes, accessories, and whatnot. It's up to you. As you can see, mine is sort of a store-bought / homemade route. You can also add vehicles to your layout as well, depending on what type of railroad you want, or whatever vehicles you want. So scenery is important when it comes to setting up. Did you see that ball back there? Tell me if you saw the ball. Maintenance is a huge part of keeping your model railroad running. Cleaning the track and the train's wheels will make a smooth connection between the train's wheels to the track. Cleaning the train's wheels, or in this case the pickup wheels as seen here, will make sure that they run smoothly. The speedometer is obviously a way to control the train's speed. Depending on what type of train you have will determine how fast it goes. The newer trains will go faster than the older ones, as you can probably already tell. Now there's two types. There's DC, which is direct current, and there's AC, which is alternative current. And there's also DCC, but I don't know which one that is. So what happens is power goes through the wall to the controllers, turned into DC, goes through this red wire here, into the connector points, in through one rail of the track, in through one wheel of the train, through the motor, out the other wheel, and then back to the controller, and it makes a full circuit. Perfectly good. Now, as you can see, having a considerable amount of detail in your layout will make it better. And one way to make it better is adding nighttime segments. As you can see, I use these little battery-operated candle thingies. I don't know what they're called, I'm sorry. During the day, your railroad looks like this. But if you have the right technology available, you can turn it from this, during the day, to this. Now, as you can see at night, my railroad is nicely lit up. It's considerable, but sorry, I don't have any professional lights of yet. But this is just my suggestions for your model railroad. So remember these tips: scenery, track, layout, locomotives and rolling stock, and as well as concepts, and as well as additional details such as tunnels and trees and buildings and whatnot will make your railroad even better than you imagined. Now, these are just my simple tips on how to start your own model railroad. If you love trains and you love models, then smash them together and just go for model railroading, because model railroading is an awesome hobby, and it's perfect for you to get a inspirational boost in your free time. Now, I'm sorry if this isn't the most professional video ever made. I'm sorry. But if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to give it a like, and make sure to visit my channel too. And don't forget to like, favorite, and comment on this. Don't worry, I'll have more model railroading videos for you guys soon. And if you want to see more, then hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. And that is it for the model railroading. Start your own model railroading. Bye, everybody!